Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to another precision farming video. So, I'm in the Twilight Zone. Some peculiar things are happening to my single save game, and it's quite hilarious, and I'm beginning to embrace it as something that is just part of a game that is trying to be as realistic as possible. So it has been 2 days since I planted these two fields, which are both canola. I want to show you what happened as I step away. The nitrogen values were not increased after I'm going to hire a worker, and you'll see the worker is not going to fertilize properly, but the worker will distribute a little bit of nitrogen, but not like you would expect, like it was with seasons without the DLC precision farming in play. Here, a little bit of my crop did not germinate. That's okay. I got it set everything on maximum realism as I can. What is tolerable. Not exactly maximum realism, because I do not have weeds set at max. With precision farming, you get to set your weeds. You know, with just seasons, you set your weeds to on or off, but with precision farming, there's also a scale to it. Let's talk about that for a second. You go to settings, just in seasons, just like before, and you go to crop damage scale and weed intensity scale. These are the defaults that come with it. You know, or maybe it was 30, I can't remember, but it's at 50 for me right now. But the weed intensity scale set at 20 is the default, and believe me, 20 is perfect. You don't want to set it at, let's say, 100. Whew. No way. No thank you. I'm going to leave it exactly how the default is, and there is enough weeds, trust me, to keep you occupied, you know, to make the game fun. So I'm going to hire a worker, and we will see what kind of worker pops into the tractor. It's all random. Here we go. That's me. That is the worker. So this worker is going to distribute fertilizer across this field, but not in a way you would expect. I'm going to jump out of it. I'm now jumped out of the tractor. See where it says we've got oats. Now, I have already proven from the previous video that oats love, there we go, oats love 200 nitrogen. So, if oats love 200 nitrogen, why is the liquid fertilizer not being applied to the field? This is another glitch, kind of a Twilight Zone type of thing going on here. A glitch in the matrix, so to speak. Why is this worker doing this? It wants to do it, but there's a glitch. The worker obviously says, okay, nitrogen needs to be put in the soil for this particular crop, oats. 200 nitrogen on loam is perfect. So right now, as you can see, the number 200, and I know my icon for my channel subscription is in the way. But trust me, it says 200/140. /140. 200/140 is what it reads. And here you've got a 200/200, you see? So why is the worker not adding it to the soil? Very, very strange, right? Very, very strange. And the worker is doing some more crazy things now. I'm not sure what is going on. Okay, then. So now you want to go over here. Now, the cool thing about workers, even though I have crop destruction turned on, they will not destroy crops if they drive through them. That's very cool about this game. Oh, wait. Oh, now they're in the other field that was adjacent to this one. Okay. I can accept that. So the nitrogen over here says it's good at 180 across the entire field, which I have grass growing, obviously. And the nitrogen says it's perfect. So why is the worker over here working? Like I said, this is Twilight Zone-ish, glitches in the Matrix. just kind of seeing what happens. I told everybody I would record things as it happens, and here you go. I have lived up to my statement. Okay, so the worker has completed their task. Okay, that's understandable. It did its best to try to figure out what to do. So that's all working. The problem with the glitch is there's something with the precision farming DLC when it comes to nitrogen being in the soil. When it's now been, you know, if you watch the previous videos that I had, it didn't make any sense. I believe it's the one titled Other Oddities at the end. Can't remember the whole title, but it's about 15 minutes long. And in that video, my cedar planter is actually taking nitrogen out of the soil while it plants. I'm sorry, not cedar planter, cedar/fertilizer is actually taking, in that video, nitrogen out of the soil, which does not make any sense at all. That's when the rabbit hole started. Now, another rabbit hole has begun now, where there is obviously parts of the soil that need more fertilizer or nitrogen from this liquid fertilizer, and it knows it wants to put it down. Let me find a spot where I know. Oh yeah, it was the spot, the little strip where I had not planted any. I'm sorry, I put any fertilizer with. Oh, right here. I believe there's a strip. Yeah, this is the one. This is where we're gonna put the worker at, and we're gonna walk behind the worker and see what happens. Here we go. Let's see what kind of worker, random worker we get this time. I'm going to start it right here. Do a close-up. Back it up a little bit more. Random worker. So far we got a sort of a spread, and then the worker stopped. Now let's jump out of here and walk behind the worker and see. Okay, right now the sprayer should be on, but it is not. It says nitrogen bad, 180. Okay, there a little bit came out. Okay. Why did the worker stop? This is all very interesting. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just part of the game. But it definitely is a glitch, right? We can all agree on that this should be turning out a little bit differently. And I do have the buildings, by the way. I have the buildings that come with the Precision Farming DLC already purchased. I'll walk over to this building first. It is the triangulation, whatchamacallit. I'll go in the garage so everybody can see what I'm talking about. This mobile RTX, which in the garage, the reason I'm showing this is because it is important for the purposes of this video that I show that I do have these buildings in play. There, the shed with the RTK base station. This station provides your vehicles with a better GPS signal. This helps your AI helpers to drive more precise and do their work faster. I agree with that statement. It is helping. And here's the RTK station, a smaller version, which I believe triangulates the worker, the building, and this itself. This station provides your vehicle with a better GPS signal. This helps your AI helpers to drive more precise and do their work faster. So yeah, I think both of those in play, plus what's inside the tractor itself. Well, the worker got stuck. That's okay. With what's also inside the truck, GPS triangulates so the worker. And yes, I have seen that the workers do work a little bit better. And as you saw, the worker tried to add liquid fertilizer to the field that has oats, and then the worker transferred over to the field that has grass. That's cool. I think that has to do with this. So that checks out as working pretty well. So there's some positives in every video, and then there's just glitches in the matrix that are just part of the experience, part of the fun. So I think it's pretty much pointless to try to continue to look at more of the, once this saves, we'll go to the precision farming map, look at the nitrogen value, and see if anything really changed. This screen right here. Got your soil types. These are pretty good. These were just plowed out. These are not harvesting yet. We've got wheat growing here and corn growing here. Those are okay. It seems like the glitch starts to happen right around the third harvest, right around the third planting. I've already planted 3 different crops on here. Right now there's soybeans growing. I've already planted and harvested 3 different crops, and now there's canola growing here. I'll show you in a moment. I've already harvested 3 different crops, and now there's oats planted here and germinated. Same with this field, 3 different crops. Same with this field. That's when the glitch starts to happen with precision farming. Let me show you what the fruit types are. We've got, like I said, canola, soybeans, oats, corn and growing, wheat that is growing. That we'll be harvesting in late fall, these 3 fields. Now we'll go back to the precision farming map, look at the pH value, which is lime. Everything looks pretty good. For the soil type that the lime is on, it's going to be different. We've got loamy sand here, sandy loam, sandy loam, mostly sandy loam. All loam here for the corn. Sandy loam, a little bit of loam, and then sandy loam again. Here's the nitrogen screen. This is good for soybeans. If you're wondering why, or this is bright red, soybeans don't care about nitrogen. That's a fact. That is an actual fact. You can look it up. But canola, on the other hand, once it's harvested, I believe, should be taking nitrogen out of the ground. And it did not. That is weird, I believe, because I'm not second-guessing and questioning my own sanity on that, because I can prove that because my crop rotation planner for this field here, let me show you. Look at the crop rotation planner right here. Number B. Fallow was when I plowed it out. Then I planted canola. Then I had to wait an entire year and skip a planting season. That's why there's only 3 for this one. And then plant soybeans, which is growing now. Because with the seasons, there's only a certain time you can plant soybeans. And I had to actually skip, go into winter, wait until spring, late spring, wait till the soil temperature got to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and then I planted the soybeans. Now, here's the proof. The canola, after I harvested it, took nitrogen out of the soil. But for some reason, when it happened on this rotation, see, it's the third one. Just like I said, that's when the glitch happens. When this canola was harvested, there's a previous video that's about 15 minutes long that shows it while it's happening, but I forgot to actually talk about it. But it is documented because you can see it on the mini-map in the lower left-hand screen, where the nitrogen value is still remaining at 180 in some spots at 200. When no, that's not correct. When you harvest canola, nitrogen definitely, most definitely gets taken out of the soil, and that did not happen. That's a glitch in the game. It's a Twilight Zone issue, in my opinion. And it's kind of fun. I'm discovering things. This game is fun to play. So, then when the oat was planted, it actually, instead of keeping the nitrogen value at 200 for the loam and 180 for the sandy loam, it actually reduced it and took away. You can see it in the video. It's proof. I've got it happening live as it happened. That's a glitch that doesn't make any sense. So that's when it seems to happen, is around the third planting, is when everything starts to act weird. So right now I've got grass growing, I've got canola growing, that germinated, and I have oats in 2 fields that germinated. You don't see the other oat field because you're only allowed to have 4 rotation plans. But the oats are over here, and then across the road, of course, where that other field is. So that brings everybody up to speed on what's going on with this series with precision farming along with seasons. I think that covers everything. Let's look at everything one more time. Here's the yields that were, because I just harvested this field, this field, this field, and this field. Four big size fields were harvested this year. So let's click on, hit R3, and look at the economic analysis. Now the totals have gone up from since the last time I looked at this. But like I said, I haven't really sold any crops. They've been all being saved for animals since I started. I have not sold anything. So the total of 76,368 is just a rough estimate. It gives you an idea of what kind of profits you've made. Total earnings 93,000, but total cost is around 17,000, brings that around $76,000 total bottom line profit. It's just to give you an idea. It's not set in stone. If you wait till the markets go higher, you can actually make that total a lot higher. It's just a rough estimate to give you an idea of what, you know, it's nice statistics to look at. I like it. I actually do like this now that I, you know, think about it, but it's not set in stone. Precision farming economic analysis. Well, that was cool to talk about. A little bit more positive attitude, right? Now here, the precision farming economic analysis screen is giving me a rough estimate. I believe because I just harvested all that grass, I'm turning it into hay. That's a lot. 43,000, and I've never even harvested these fields yet. These are brand new, and they're not on the crop rotation planner, like I said, because I can only have 4 at once on that crop rotation planner. It would be nice to have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, you know, up to 10 for that crop rotation. But 4 is cool. You know, you can mess around with it. But these are all pretty much set in stone for fields that I have. You can pause the screen and look at this if you'd like. And I did sell 50 chickens. The maximum is 500. Made a nice little profit. That's the forecast. We're not going to get rain for quite a while. That's okay. That's okay. I did get some rain this summer. It really wasn't that much of a wet summer, but it wasn't dry either. It was kind of in between. So we've had an okay summer. One time I had to skip a actual planting because I got no rain for the entire year except for maybe like the 3rd day of spring, and then for the rest of the entire year no rain at all, and I had to actually skip a planting season because I knew it would still germinate, but the yield would have been terrible minus the costs of the fertilizing, the workers, all the other things involved. It just would not have been worth it. It would have been pretty much, probably would have broke even because your yield is affected by rain. Let's be real. If there's a heavy drought in the game, you planted it, it will germinate, but don't expect a big yield by the time it's time to harvest if you've had no rain at all. That goes without saying. So this game does really hit hard at realism, and I'm happy with it. But you know, every game has its quirks, and so far this game is very entertaining. So I'm going to embrace what's going on and keep playing this map and just see what I can do. The next thing I'm going to try to do is manure or slurry, but I don't have any animals for that yet. So that will be next. I'll have to do that next year. I don't have pigs. I don't have cows. All I have is chickens right now. Look at all that hay. Okay, I got to get to work collecting this hay in case it rains. It could rain, you know. I would hate that to happen. I better get going. Have a great day, everybody.